discussion on the show for today. My name is Patience Bilo Kafo. I'm here alongside Alero. Good afternoon,
Patience.
Alero.
Good afternoon. A beautiful Thursday afternoon to you out there. And today's edition of The Buzz, as usual, promises to be interesting and also educative too.
Yes, so we're looking at all the issues trending on social media, and of course we know you will participate in today's discussion. Of course, you know you can join the show by interacting with us on all of our social media platforms.
Yes, using the hashtag The Buzz. And on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and on Twitter at Galaxy TV. And you can get to watch previous editions of The Buzz using the Galaxy TV Nigeria. Yes, subscribe
on YouTube.
to it on YouTube.
That's right. But on the program directly, you can interact by sending SMS to the number 0708 740758. Again, is 0708 740758, and the number is on the screen. Please, let's use it for SMS only. All right, let's quickly introduce our guests on the show for this afternoon. Sitting close by me is a first-timer on the show. He is a journalist and he has so much presence on social media, always vocal and having his own say. Mr. Muyiwa Akiboye. Good afternoon, Mr. Akiboye. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good
All right.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, viewers.
All right.
Good.
And of course, he's become a regular face on the show. All right. His contributions are quite immense and, of course, articulate. He is a renowned blogger. He's a social critic and a renowned journalist. Nii Tabiti with us. Good afternoon, Nii.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yes.
All right, going straight into our program for today. The first topic of discussion is on Chimamanda Adichie. A lot of us last week would have seen the video that trended. A couple of videos. People have different edits of that video. Chimamanda Adichie, who is an ace Nigerian author, was hosted by the French government on their Night of Ideas event. And a particular French reporter asked if there were libraries and bookshops in Nigeria, and also if people do read books. And of course, the epic response by Chimamanda Adichie, I trust Nigerians. You know, that response has been trending on social media since it debuted. And that's what we're discussing first on the show for today. So we'll bring you that clip of the interview, and we need to warn you that it's in French, but when we come back we will translate. All right, we'll be back.
Est-ce que vos livres sont lus au Nigeria?
They do, shocking.
Tout à fait, ça va peut-être vous choquer, mais
They do.
Est-ce qu'il y a des librairies au Nigeria? Je vois, mais c'est précisément parce que ça vous fait réagir comme ça que je pose la question, parce que cette question-là va amener la suivante. Si vous parliez des histoires uniques, et précisément, quand on parle du Nigeria, pardon, mais en France, on parle très peu, sûrement pas assez, d'un pays comme le Nigeria. Quand on parle du Nigeria, on parle de Boko Haram. Quand on parle du Nigeria, on parle de problèmes de violence, des problèmes de sécurité. Je voudrais profiter de votre présence pour que vous nous parliez du Nigeria, peut-être autrement, dans la façon dont on ne le connaît pas. D'où cette question. Est-ce qu'il y a des librairies dans votre pays? Bien entendu, je suppose que oui. Mais est-ce qu'on lit au Nigeria? Je pourrais poser la question de la même façon en France. Est-ce qu'on lit en France? Aujourd'hui, on répond de moins en moins. Chimamanda.
You know, I think it reflects very poorly on French people that you have to ask me that question.
Welcome back. All right, just in case you're wondering what transpired there, the interviewer asked, are there bookshops in Nigeria? She said yes. Do people read your books in Nigeria? I mean, she's an international author, you know, with award-winning books. And then she went on to say, sorry, but in France, unfortunately, there is not much said about a country like Nigeria. When one talks about Nigeria, it's about Boko Haram, about violence, and about security. I would like to talk about Nigeria differently. That's why I asked if there were bookshops in Nigeria. And to that, Chimamanda Adichie responded, I think it speaks badly of France that you asked me that question. No, gentlemen.
Yes, no. You know, there's what we call superiority complex and inferiority complex.
Okay.
The known one is always inferiority complex. When you talk about superiority complex, some people, they think they are high up there.
They're superior.
They are superior. And I think she did that intentionally to spite Chimamanda or Nigeria in general. Well, I won't blame her anyway, because it reflects badly on the image of France, as you have said. Although she's an individual, so we don't need to generalize. So that's just her own point. It might be the interviewer's own ignorance, not the ignorance of France
of the entire France.
Insecurity that we talk. When people continue to talk about Boko Haram and all of that, this same insecurity is all over Europe and America. It happens. Somebody will just come in somewhere and shoot everybody. It's just that the level of our own international media exposure is low compared to the international standard. If somebody is killed in America, for instance, now, for something about, it will be all over CNN, Al Jazeera, and everywhere. Unlike Nigeria, that is like normal thing, that they kill themselves in the north, especially. So I don't really blame the interviewer. It's just our own. It's just our own thing. I don't blame France. I'll blame the interviewer.
Okay, well, because she said that in France, unfortunately, there is not much said about a country like Nigeria. That when anyone actually talks about Nigeria, what comes to their mind is either Boko Haram, violence,
in
and
essence,
security
terrorism
issues. So Niger said something right now that it's just about the way the Nigerian media is being perceived overseas. What do you think could be the reasons for this, Mr. Muiwa?
Well, Alera, thank you very much. I would put it as a scenario where we ourselves, Nigerians, we portray ourselves too badly every time, both within and outside the country. A lot of times I tell people around me that you don't have to say negative things all the time. Number one, if you say too much of negative things about yourself, even about your country, it gets to happen. So the more you say, the more it happens. And that's an example of what we have seen. That's playing out with the French interviewer. That's all she could hear. A lot of times, even in Nigeria, in Nigeria itself, some Nigerians don't hear good news. All they hear is these negative things.
It's like some people even go out looking for bad news, you know, for bad things to happen.
Yes, because it's not Nigerian force. We are not doing the Nigerian force. At a point, this woman, this former NAFDAC Dora Quinley, when she was in government, they tried to introduce what they call the Nigerian force thing. But just the way we see, in the US, you see, in God we trust. An American,
God bless America.
God bless America. Anything the Americans are doing is all over the place. That's why America is very perfect.
It's not.
You know what they call utopian society, like something that is perfect, free flow, everything. America is not that. But an American can say, God bless America. In Nigeria, they try to introduce the Nigerian force thing, but just the same way we always have every project in Nigeria. Everything will be marred by corruption.
Good people, great nation.
Good people, great nation. That we're supposed to reflect. People need to be proud of the country. But our leaders are not allowing that. Instead of us to say, we are proud of Nigeria, tomorrow you see, they will introduce something today. Tomorrow, nepotism, they'll bring their family into it. At the end of the day, the whole thing will fall down.
They give us more reasons
More
not
reasons
to believe
not to
in the
believe
Nigerian
country. That is
yes.
why every one of us are in Nigeria. When people say they have national honor, like member of Nigeria, order of Nigeria, I tell them that me too, I am order of Nigeria or member of Nigeria, because for me to live in Nigeria at this point of my life,
MFR.
all of us that are living in Nigeria, all of us that are living in Nigeria right now deserve a national award.
Yes.
A lot of people have run away now, and we are still here.
Yes.
So,
we're still standing. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Even though Chimamanda Adichie did, in her own way, you know, try to protect the image or be a good ambassador to Nigeria, let us look inwards. We are Nigerians living in Nigeria, and look at the culture, the literary culture of Nigeria and Nigerians. Before we came on air, we're talking about while we in our time were preparing for exams and how helpful public libraries were, you know, in terms of studying and all of that. And that is a culture that is it even fast eroding, or it has eroded itself? I don't know.
We could still put it as
fast eroding.
Bookshops are not like nine posts. Bookshops are not like nine posts. You know, like nine posts.
Exactly.
An average small kid, now if you ask them what is nine posts, they don't know nine posts. They don't know what nine posts is. That is the same way when you ask some kids now what is a library. They don't know. A public library. Tell me where there's a public library in Nigeria. Before now, I used to go to. There's a library on Ababakoli Way.
Yes.
Towards Yaba.
Wesley. So, yeah.
Yes. People used to go there.
I went there. I read there a lot of times.
Go to the one at Odulami, opposite the CSL bookshop in CMS.
Yes.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
In the whole of Ikeja, this is Ikeja right now where we are. Point to a public library in Ikeja. Public library in Maryland. Everything has gone down. Nothing again. Even when you go there and they say they have books, go and check those books. There are books that they bought. Maybe Awolowo bought in 1965 or 1962 that they donated to the library. There's nothing. I used to go to the British Council. In those days, I don't know the level of British Council, right? But in those days, I used to go to British Council. They bring a lot of British literature. When you go there, it's like you are in Britain. The newspapers, the books, and everything is enough for them to project their country to the outside world. We don't have anything like that again. So we should also look inward, like she said. There's nothing. Library are no more in existence in Nigeria.
I believe this is more or less like an eye-opener to the government.
Mr. Muiwa.
You just said there is no library in Ikeja. If you go to Archbishop Vining, there is a library there.
It's a public library.
It doesn't matter, it's a library.
No,
But do kids actually go there?
You have access to the library all the time, at your own time, at least maybe for a speculated period of time on a daily basis. But of course, it's still a library that's accessible by.
No, what we are saying is, we are talking when we talk about
libraries
public library
that are open to the public.
To the public,
Yeah,
anybody can come.
Yeah.
If somebody in Archbishop Vining now, somebody who wears an hijab, for instance,
might not be able to access exactly
because it's owned by them, and the books there will reflect
maybe
more about the church, about Christianity, not a public library.
So I don't know. The structures are still there. The structures for public libraries,
definitely,
they're still there. So what happened? The one on Herbert Macaulay that you're talking about. The last time I went by that place, the whole place was overgrown, you know, with grasses. I don't know about now. I mean, the last time I went there. So the structures are there. What happened? Why didn't the government, where were they not able to maintain, you know?
And update the library.
Update the libraries.
Google has taken over.
Yes, okay. The
but let me tell you, when you go abroad, at least, for instance now, in the UK, like bookshops, what's it called? Night Post. They don't call it Night Post now. Their own post office. It's still in existence. People, in fact, they still use it. You can still post letter to somebody or post a document and you will get it at the right time. But here in Nigeria, once something comes, people, the other one will just fall down. Because we don't have a culture, we don't have a system.
A maintenance culture.
Apart from the maintenance, we don't. Our political system is based on. It's like a commercial thing. That somebody brings money in and somebody gets money out. People invest money to become governors, to become local government chairmen, and at the end of the day, they want to make that money. So they are more focused about all those things than leaving behind a legacy.
To buttress this point, the issue of library has even gotten to schools now. In those days, I would use my elder brother's book that he has read.
Yeah.
After 5 years, and still sit by it.
Yeah, we used to pass on books.
A, whatever,
True,
A1, A2, A3, C, whatever.
Very
We still
true.
pass that.
So even the
Particular-
schools are too.
But
It
now-
can't happen.
Now, it doesn't happen
Every
anymore.
year you buy new books.
Even in our schools, it's being bastardized. It's being killed.
Yeah.
The issue of library. So you don't even have your own library. So a child uses a book, it
And
ends
they are
up in
done
that
with
somewhere.
it.
I think we have to see to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing again, because growing up then you could get to see your teachers going to tell you that you should go down to the library to do your assignments and check it up there.
Some schools don't even have libraries.
don't. They don't have libraries.
It's
People
not
write on
private
books then.
schools. No
You only read
libraries.
books, but these days books are tailored towards being read today. I mean,
Well, to me, I actually believe
Yeah.
it's
So-
a good one that the French interviewer asked Chimamanda.
Sure.
to
How many
It's
do.
books
more,
was-
it's more
So
like a
it's a wake-up
money
call.
making venture now, you know, the kind of books that are used in schools, because I have children and I know I buy books every session.
Every
So
session you buy
I can
books.
talk about that because they have like an English textbook, then you have the English workbook. So you do your
project.
assignments inside the
the
workbook,
project, yes.
so that you know whoever is coming behind you cannot use that. You have to buy. You
have to
must
buy again.
as a
They have
must.
to make money.
You recall then all those physics, chemistry books and all that. Because we didn't come from family, silver spoon family, so sometimes you know my mom would go out and go and buy second-hand books. You remember?
Yes,
Yeah, you
yes,
could
yes.
like 5 years ago,
Yes.
and they were still relevant.
I was
You go and
lucky.
buy those
I
books.
was
Yes.
lucky. I don't buy that. Even my immediate younger brother,
Yeah.
if I use a book this year, he will say he won't use it. That I've written because I used to draw a lot.
Everything
So
was-
you know that it was have his own new
Yeah.
again. So they will buy for him. But you know, in Nigeria, we need to change our mentality. Our the government has a lot to do in changing so many things. So look at even bookshops right now. How many bookshops do we have?
They have well stocked.
That are well stocked. How
Well
many
stocked.
bookshops do we have? That are
And
well stocked.
let me put it to you that Abama Poly used to have two